The 2021 NBA draft is today, and this is one of the deepest drafts in NBA history, full of potential superstars, and we're in store for a very unpredictable and exciting evening. Everyone, and welcome back to another video on Man of Sports Talk. We're going to go right into the number one overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft, and that is going to be Cade Cunningham. He's going to go to the Detroit Pistons at the number one overall pick from Oklahoma State. You know, there's some talk about the Rockets possibly trading for him, making a package to get that number one overall. You know, it's really uncertain. You never know what's going to happen, but he's easily the best player in this draft, the most complete player. He can play 4 different positions, great size, very good defense, as well as shooting and driving ability. 20 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Shot 40% from 3, so great three-pointer, and 85% from the free throw line. So he's a very complete player. Really no weaknesses to really talk about here for Cade, and which is why he's so sought after here. His draft easily the number one overall. Let's move on to number 2 overall in my mock draft. And I've talked about this before as a Rockets fan. It's going to be Jalen Green, number 2 overall. For my Houston Rockets, I've talked about him in my number 2 overall pick video. You can go ahead and check that out. Played for the G League United, 19 years old, 6'6", plays shooting guard. Super athletic, major hops and springs in his legs. Super great dunker and one of the best scorers we've seen. Really is going to be one of the leading scorers in the NBA soon enough. You're combining a James Harden and a Zach LaVine, really. A scoring machine. He averaged 18 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and has 1.5 steals. And he was very good against high competitive in the G League. He has a good amount of three-point shots, really strong burst. Talk about him before. And it's going to be the future of the league in the backcourt with KPJ. Now with the 3rd overall pick in the 2021 draft, Cleveland Cavaliers going to select Evan Mobley, the 20-year-old from USC, 7-footer, Pac-12 Player of the Year, Freshman of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, All-American, 16 points per game, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks. Would be probably the top pick in the draft, if not for Cade Cunningham. 2-way superstar ability. I've talked about him before. I think the Cavaliers would really love to have him in that front court. Great finisher and can shoot threes, rim protector. So, yeah. And now with the number 4 overall pick, the Toronto Raptors select Jalen Suggs out of Gonzaga, the guard. 14 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 50% from the field and 34% from 3. He can play some really tough defense, and he's a great scorer as well as in the clutch moments. He's really, really getting it done. Here for the Raptors, going to be in the backcourt. Kyle Lowry is getting a bit older, and then him with Fred VanVleet should be really excellent. And then with the 5th overall pick, I have the Orlando Magic selecting Jonathan Kuminga, the 18-year-old. A very strong wing player at 6'6". He was in the G League Ignite, averaging 16 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal and a block. He can shoot the 3 ball as well, 25% from 3. He's very good defensively and is great paint scoring, pretty athletic type of player that the Magic are going to be getting in that front court. You know, a really top player in this draft, really, who I think should be the 5th overall here. And then now for the 6th overall pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be selecting Scotty Barnes, the 19-year-old, also in the front court. 6'8" wing player, really strong defender and very versatile. 10 points per game, 1.5 steals, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. 50% from the field. I think he can develop on a rebuilding Oklahoma City Thunder team. To really help this team overall, they have Gilgeous-Alexander, the backcourt. Really helping off this front court would be something I think would be good. Barnes is a very good young player. And then with the 7th overall pick, I have the Golden State Warriors selecting, how about it, Davion Mitchell. I have the 22-year-old jumping in my mock draft really high up. I'm very, very high on Davion Mitchell. He's one of my favorite players in this draft. 22 years old, one of the older players, but you know, one of the probably the most developed player in this draft. He can help the Golden State Warriors win instantly, getting Klay Thompson back. 6-foot shooting guard. He can really come off this bench. Probably one of the best defenders in this NBA draft. Great 3-point shooter. Star in the making, 14 points per game, 45% from 3, 6 assists and 2 steals, 51% from the field. I think Davion Mitchell is going to be very, very good. And now with the 8th overall pick, James Bouknight is going to be a pick for the Magic here. 19 points per game, 78% from the free throw line, a steal, 45% from the field. He's a scorer and a bucket, and he's going to be a great pick for the Magic to get some scoring offensively. And his stock really has been rising recently in the workouts. And then with the number 9 pick, I do have Franz Wagner going to the Sacramento Kings. He's been linked to the Kings for weeks, and I do have the Kings picking him. 19 years old from Germany. Played for the Michigan Wolverines. Good size at 6'9". He's a pretty good shooter. 13 points per game, 84% from the free throw line, and 34% from three. The Kings get a nice shooter to pair with De'Aaron Fox and the guys that they got over there in Sacramento. Now with the 10th overall pick, Josh Giddy, the Australian, the 18-year-old, 11 points per game, 8 assists, the best passer, very good wing, good size at 6'8". He can just make plays and really run that offense. You know, the Grizzlies traded up to get 10th overall, probably to get Josh Giddey. I think that's what they probably had in mind. So that's really where I'm going here in the top 10. And now I want to talk about the Houston Rockets, my Houston Rockets team, and all you Rockets fans out there really want to talk about number 23 and 24, some guy that I've been very, very high on just recently. And I really think the Rockets should definitely look into getting him if these picks are not traded. Charles Bassey here, I think for the Rockets could be a very, very good choice if Rafael Stone could choose him. I feel him, as a backup center maybe if Christian Wood will be our center. He's a very good shot blocker and very good rebounder. The Rockets struggle in rebounding, something the Rockets really need, as we don't really have either of that kind of guy. Christian Wood is a shot blocker, but him at 6'11", 20 years old, he's a Nigerian from Western Kentucky, 18 points per game, 3 blocks, 12 rebounds. He also has a 3-point shot, 30% from 3 and 59% from field. Getting another Nigerian like Hakeem Olajuwon would be great. I think Charles Bassey is somebody who I'm very, very high on here for Houston. Here are all the other picks in this 2021 NBA Draft, 11 through 30. The Hornets at 11 taking Sengun from Turkey. Really great scorer, a center, 18 years old only. And then at number 12, I have Moses Moody dropping to number 12, where the Spurs do pick him up from Arkansas. And then at 13, Indiana Pacers get Jalen Johnson, who I think would be a good fit for them. And then at 14, Trey Murphy's been jumping up the boards. And here at number 14, I think the Golden State Warriors end up with a very good draft haul, getting Davion Mitchell and now getting Trey Murphy, a good size, good wing player from Virginia, really good three-pointer, 3-and-D type guy. I think the Warriors are really set on making a run with these two really ready NBA draft picks. And then at 15, the Wizards, they need more shooting. They get Corey Gispert. Who else is better than that sharpshooter from Gonzaga? And then at 16, the OKC Thunder select Keon Johnson from Tennessee. And then the Pelicans, who went down to 17, I think they get Jaden Springer, who's been really, really high, recently been jumping up the boards. Really good defender as a point guard, can make a 3-point shot as well. Back-to-back players from the Volunteers here. And then at 18, I think the OKC Thunder, another pick here, they get Zaire Williams, a very, very high player, probably the most potential here in this NBA draft. I think they just take a shot here with him. Super high potential you're getting in Williams. 1 year at Stanford for him. At his size, a great scorer. And then 19, Jared Butler, he's been cleared to play in the NBA, which is why the New York Knicks at 19 pick him up. Really solid point guard, really strong two-way player. Doesn't really have much weakness, has a great 3-point shot, great driver, great shooter, strong defensively as a leader as well. I think the Knicks get some more shooting and a great point guard that they really need. And then at 20, the Hawks, they need another scorer. Cameron Thomas, the shooting guard from LSU. I think he's going to be a good fit for them. And then the Knicks at 21, I think they get Chris Duarte, probably the second most ready draft prospect, one of the older guys from Oregon. Really good 3-and-D type player, really good shooter, high percentage shooter, a really good defender, a good size. I think the Knicks really get him. When they made the playoffs last year, they're probably looking to get farther. And then the Lakers, I think they really wanted Chris Duarte here, but I think they get Ayo Dosunmu, the shooting guard from Illinois. They need some more scoring probably off that bench. Getting another guard would be really beneficial. And then the Rockets, assuming this pick doesn't get traded, I think they go with Trey Mann here, point guard off the bench for the Rockets, Florida. Really good shooter and scorer. I already talked about 24 for the Rockets, and then 25 for the Clippers. Nashawn Bones Highland, they need a score, really, the Clippers do. And I think from Texas, Kai Jones, the power forward, they get the Nuggets here. Strong wing player, 3-and-D type guy for the Nuggets. And for the Nets, you know, they've been known for not really having too great defense. They get a defensive specialist here, Usman Garuba from Spain, a really good defender. Somebody they can really put in here for defense. And then the Sixers, they really need some guys in big size. So Isaiah Jackson, the power forward from Kentucky, a pretty versatile type of player. They can plug in as a backup center, maybe to Embiid. And then the Suns at 29, they get Sharif Cooper, a point guard from Auburn, another scorer for them, point guard who can run the offense, more of a passing guy, good vision, who can run that offense, who I think they really need. And then at 30, the Utah Jazz pick up Quentin Grimes at the last pick, shooting guard from Houston. Really great three-point shot, a really good scorer and shooter, as well as a very good defender. You know, I really won't want a guy from my Houston U of H going to the Utah, but I think for Utah, he really fits for them. So I hope you guys enjoyed my mock draft. Please do down, hit the like, subscribe, enable notifications, comment in the comment section who you think the Rockets should get at 23. The draft is tonight. It's going to be very exciting. You definitely need to watch it on ESPN at 7 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.